For gear that's good as swell, that's clean. Join Tim and Owey in between the sets. Between the sets.
Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your Budgy Boys, just Tim. Is this going to be another disaster like last year's Womp Off episode that everyone loves? I don't think everyone really loves it. Some people really dislike it. We're not really starting the podcast yet. I'm just going live to make sure we don't lose any viewers on YouTube because we advertised that we're going live at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But Owey's MIA. I don't know where he is. I said, mate, do you want to meet at the pub? I didn't get a response. And then a bit later on, I saw big boy Luke Brabot was at our local pub. So we missed a good session. But at least we'll be doing the podcast sober tonight. When Owey gets here, I'll hit record. If he's not here soon, I might just start it without him. But if you guys want to hang in there, I kind of don't want to get into things yet because I don't want Owey to miss anything. If Owey's listening, maybe he can get into the live chat and let us know if he's listening. But I'm just going to hang here for a second and tell you what's been going on in my world. I injured my back really badly yesterday. I was taking out the rubbish and I was coming back inside and I sneezed and I've done something real bad. And I'm concerned because we're only a few days away from Slide Fest 2020. And I've registered to compete. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but I've actually got a pillow behind me because I'm in quite a bit of pain and I'm trying to keep myself upright and propped up. But I've had this issue a few times. The last time I had it was at Womp Camp and it was rough. I remember driving home with a really, really sore back and I wasn't able to body surf for probably a good month or two. So let's see if I can recover in time for Slidefest. Hey, if I'm not fully recovered, I'll still probably jump in the water, but I think I'll be going up there more to commentate and record some stuff. Some big news that we'll discuss on the podcast very soon is Tom Ma signing up to compete at Slidefest. So that's huge news. Looking forward to catching up with him. We've been trying to get him on the podcast for a while, but he was traveling a bit and he was keen to come on, but we just never could make it happen. So maybe we can quickly record a little chat with him when we go to Slidefest. Now, the Budgy Boys have been doing some stuff all over the place. They've been having some surfs and having some catch-ups. But boy, are they awful at organising shit. First of all, they can't organise a surf. They're so indecisive on where they want to go, and they end up pretty much in the kiddie pool most days of the week. So I don't know why they take so long to decide where they're going. So the other day, I just had a look at the text line and saw so much gibberish going on that I thought, you know what, might just have a sleep in. And now that we've got a few decisions to make in terms of Womp Camp and Slide Fest that are coming up really, really soon, the boys are all over the place with this. So I'm not sure who's going to be representing the Budgy Boys at Slide Fest, and I'm not sure who's going to be representing the Budgy Boys at Womp Camp. But it looks like it's going ahead. So, start organising your shits, boys. Looks like Owey's here, so stand by as we return to regular programming.
For gear that's good as swell, that's clean. Join Tim and Owey in between the sets. Between the sets.
Hello and welcome to the Bodysurf podcast with your Budgy Boys, Tim and Owey, hydrated by Hairy Man Brewery. This is Between the Sets, and I think I actually have stuffed up the math a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second. What's going on with your mic?
See, this is why we need to do mic checks.
Hold up.
Yeah. Oh, I've caught myself in the tooth.
There we go.
I can't hear myself at all.
You should be...
Nah. Yep, there I am. Oh, that's crystal clear.
Okay, good.
Now,
Now, what was I saying? Something very important. Oh, I've stuffed up the math. I think last week's episode, which we celebrated as our 50th episode of the Bodysurf podcast, was just actually episode 51.
Doesn't sound like you at all to stuff something like that up, Tim.
I swear I was tracking it, and I was like, okay, no, we'll do one between the sets, and then carry the one, and then do and it will be right. And no, I think we prematurely blew our load when we did between the sets 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
So, anyways, we've hit 50. This is our 52nd episode. But who's counting?
Not me at all. How did you go in your HSC maths, Tim?
Awful. I did social maths, as we called it back in the day, just general maths.
Can I come into the frame a little bit?
Oh gosh, no. This is a one shot for a reason.
Only I may dance.
Not well at math. And the thing is, at high school, I was like in special maths. Special maths, special English.
Special means good, doesn't it?
That's what my mum tells me. But and then like a lot of the people in this special class left school. And it only left a few of us, and then we went into regular classes and we're like, oh, we've been left behind.
Yeah, that's right.
So no, I think I would have. Here's the thing: I got scaled real badly. I did all the creative subjects.
Yeah. See, that's what all the creatives say there. Oh, yeah, it's the scaling. It's all about the scaling. And if you do painting, what do they call like art?
Yeah.
Visual art. If you do visual art and you go really well, it doesn't really matter because comparatively to science and maths and English, it's shithouse.
I want to know if someone out there has studied food technology and gotten into med school.
Oh,
I don't
it's
think
pretty much the same thing. You ever cut a steak before? Saying that though, Timmy, I went up to Hazelhurst Gallery on the weekend, and you're a pretty big name down at Hazelhurst. Back in the day. Yeah, see,
we're just reminiscing about 2007.
Yeah, Tim says that he got scaled down, but his major work was actually in an art gallery.
Yeah. And I've been told, I believed it was because I was in the top bands, like I've got a band 5 or 6 in art. I've been told that's not correct. My teacher actually put me forward to get into the gallery, which was weird because my teacher wasn't very fond of my work and told me to change it on numerous occasions. What would she know? That's why she's a teacher.
Yeah, that's right. And in light of all the things that are going on, it's good that she was not fond of your work instead of you actually being fondled. Jeez. Is that not okay? I mean, we're all ages here.
I thought me having a go at an art teacher was bad, but you...
Yeah, we're taking it all places tonight, Tim.
You've upped. How do you teach creativity? That's what does my head in.
You fondle the kids. That's how every other comedian's got by. How do jokes ever get written without a bit of touching here and there?
We're in a dark time right now, and some things are happening, and I don't.
And I'm really sorry if anyone has been sexually assaulted. I'm very sorry because I've done this twice now. I went on a date once, and it's happened that the person that I was dating was sexually assaulted, and I said something very inappropriate, which subsequently ended the date then and there. So I'm very sorry if you are listening. Please don't turn off now. I don't mean any offence.
How do we redeem ourselves from this?
Oh, no, we can't.
Because a few weeks ago, or was it last week, I said maybe we drop the body surfing facade and we just start talking about...
We just call this show the podcast.
We just talk about what's going on in the news, and this is what's going on in the news. And every day I search a certain name. I won't say the name, but I search it in the news headlines just to see what's going on. And a lot of people aren't talking about it, but I'm very interested. And I think a few people might know who I'm talking about. I'm fascinated by this. But anyways, let's not talk about that sort of stuff because it is pretty heavy.
It's very blue. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, we don't want to be talking about that. Tim, we're about positivity here.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I was, because you were running a bit late, I was sort of telling everyone on the chat that I've incurred a bit of an injury. That's why I've got the pillow back here.
Okay, yeah, I was looking at it going, what's going on here?
I took the trash out yesterday. I was coming back inside. I sneezed and my back's gone.
You sneezed and you did your back.
Yeah. Welcome to 30. So I'm really worried because the last time I did this, it took a few months to get back to normality. It took me a few months to get back into the water. And Slidefest is only, 20-something days away.
And you have to be really worried about that, Tim, because all the Thai massage joints are closed at the moment. And so if you want to get that back in tip-top shape, I don't know what you're going to do.
I do have a very good sports physio. But I'd have to be going probably 3 times a week to get it ready for Slidefest.
Okay.
And I'm not prepared to pay that much money. I'm not prepared to waste that much time. I got things to do. So if I can't compete, I'm happy to just go. I'll take an armchair and my pillow and sit on the beach, and that will be fine. But I'm more concerned about some chatter we've had lately about who's coming to Slidefest.
Yeah.
Now, Tom Ma is a big signing. He has just sent through his application and he's going to be in the Opens event, so against us.
Yeah.
And that's I think that's really one of the big names because I haven't heard
Dylan Kelly.
Is Dylan okay? Because I haven't heard about our boy Uga if he's going back.
Well, he's messaging me every day. He wants to try and organise some accommodation.
Yep.
If we go up there, and so I'm still umming and ahhing. I'm always edging on the side of caution for me because I'm going, well, Victoria's going a bit. How's it going? Do we book tickets with the risk of the flight being cancelled or moved? I've already been shot in the foot because I lost about $2,000 on Japan flights this year, so I'm a bit cautious.
Yeah,
which I think is okay to be cautious, but the boys at Slide are going full steam ahead, and Timmy, you've booked your tickets. Yep. Jesse, Bondi.
Well, they were already booked in, so I got a great deal. Like flights are a bit expensive because what's going on, but I was able to pay for it with like frequent flyers, and I think some of the Goldie Sliders might be looking after me, so that's always good.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. And yes, some news has come out today about Victoria going back into lockdown. Thoughts and prayers with those guys because that what's worse than living in Victoria is being locked in Victoria. So thoughts and prayers.
I've been telling the Senate this for years, Tim. Why would you want to live there? Like, you can go there for a visit. I get it. I get it.
I had a great time there for a weekend. Great time.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. But when people go, oh, how good is Melbourne? And the two things they list is shopping and cafes. I'm like,
But like, it's like Newtown. It's like, you know what else is like Newtown? Newtown.
Yeah. And it's about 45 minutes away. You don't have to fly there.
Yeah.
You don't have to stay there. And I'll go out on a limb and even say the people in Newtown are better than Victorians.
Yeah, much of a muchness. But I'm happy making those sort of jokes because I know no one from Victoria listens. We have more fans in Hawaii or even Europe than Melbourne. So I think it's okay to have a bit of a crack at Victoria. But yeah, so that is breaking news. Victoria back in the lockdown. New South Wales and Queensland still doing okay.
We're going good.
So we should be able to fly up. Now, I was wondering if the plane's going to be fully packed. Or do we have to social distance on the plane? We all get our own aisle. No, they're going to cram us in there.
Really?
I don't even think they'll make us wear face masks or anything. I'm not sure if we'll have to sanitize.
See, that's interesting. Because I was speaking to someone the other day that frequents flying overseas, and they were saying they were thinking about doing international flights, where there's only 50 people on the flight.
Wow. Is it worth it? It costs so much.
Yeah, it's like, why?
Fuel is so expensive. Like, you can't do that. I was just about to say, I don't think international travel will be on the cards for another year or two. So that is going to, put out Hawaii if they are thinking about coming to Australia. But look at this. We've
actually got some comments.
18 people have registered for Opens. 14 ladies. Now there is a under 15 event. Six juniors. I'm not sure what the age limit for juniors is. 6 juniors have signed up, and then there's the old diggers as well. So this is looking great.
Yeah, it'll be great fun. And I think if you can get there, my guess is that there's probably going to be less people to compete against than there were last year, just because of COVID.
Possibly.
Not that the event will be run any worse, because it's every year. They're building on every year. And Trav, I know, has put a lot of effort in this year and getting it up to scratch. And, I mean, he's had to overcome so many hurdles.
Exactly.
And I'm really excited about the 2 old diggers he's just said have signed up, which is great. But saying that, I think your chances are much higher, Timmy, now. So I wouldn't shoot yourself in the foot here. You've been body surfing a long time. You might go quite well.
Chances of getting a spot on the podium.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what I really liked is the first time we went to Wompoff, we sort of were sussing it out. And second time, we kind of knew the game. Now, we had a few things pulling us back, but, it's a team sport, and we all had a good time.
Fun thing about that is the year before we competed, Jesse and I actually went to the Wompoff the year before.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we went and we were being undercover. We just started Budgy Boys. We'd been talking about it for years, but we decided, we'll start something, especially after Bait Bay started their little crew. We were like, we need to do something. We've been talking about it for so long. So we went undercover and we went down and just watched some of the heats.
Yeah.
It was at Macaulay's Beach in Wollongong. It was about 4 or 5 foot. It was pumping that day. That was the year that Bait Bay won. And as soon as we got there, we were like, we need to do this next year.
Yeah.
And I mean, the year we did it was completely different. It was pretty much flat, a lot more organised and a lot more formal. But every year it just keeps getting better and better, and you wouldn't want to miss it.
And also, I think we're doing better. Like, look how much better we did that second year just from having a crack and knowing how it ran and everything. And, we didn't get that much better. And if anything, everyone around us was getting better. So it was just knowing what was going on. And that's what I'm worried about. Slidefest is very new for me and for you. And normally it takes us a while to just, suss things out.
Yeah, well, I competed in the Noosa Heads body surfing event, and that was a first for me as an individual competing in an individual competition. And so for pretty much all of the Budgy Boys, we've all competed in team events. So an individual event is very, very different because, I mean, you have the support of your mates, but at the end of the day, if you suck or you swim well, like, everything's on you. And I found the pressure of the individual heats, to be kind of overwhelming in a way, because everything was on you. As I said, like, there wasn't that kind of camaraderie where it's just like, we're just having a muck around. It's like, if you go to an individual comp, yes, it's a muck around at the end of the day, and you don't really care if you win or lose, but still, you want to go well. I mean, if you're paying your money, you don't want to swim a heat and then, as I thought, I swam one heat and then I went and got a milkshake and thought I was out for the rest of the day. I got through, and I'm sure you guys have heard the story before. I had to run back to the car, get my kit on, and then Mark Cunningham was in the heat that I was in. So that was actually really fun, swimming against my idol in my first ever individual competition. I was stoked with that, but as I said, I was 10 minutes late in the session because I had to go all the way back. So there is the pressure of those individual comps, Timmy. So I don't want to put too much pressure on you.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'll be too stressed.
I think at least yeah, as you said, you can only blame yourself. When you're representing your team and you stuff up, you bring the boys down with you. If you stuff up, it's just, I don't really care that much.
Yeah. I mean, we can all smoke Maxi. It's part of the parcel.
And we've actually got a GoFundMe page to fly Maxi there just to compete against Jesse. So Maxi from the Bondi Lifeguards, of course. We would really love you to smoke Jesse again if you're available.
Now, speaking of GoFundMe pages.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Corey, the Saints. Hey, he's getting his hair cut.
So this Sunday he's doing it. The big chopperoo. Now, I'm just interested to see what he's going to look like. I'm thinking he's going to look younger.
Well, he posted a picture the other day of him catching a snapper or some sort of fish.
Yes.
And he looked about 13. And I messaged him. I go, bro, how old are you again? Because you do not look old at all. And he put a little like tuxedo emoji on his chest because he was wearing this heaps gay weddy. Sorry, not gay. He was wearing this heaps lame weddy. And he looked very young. I will say that. But I'm with you, Timmy. I reckon he might look older. If he shaves his head, yeah.
Yeah, when it grows back, it will be a very interesting look. But he's raised so much money, so good on you, Corey. It's going to be very exciting to see it all happen this Sunday. Is he going to do it live on Instagram or something?
Well, he was trying to look for a place to get to cut the hair, and I'm fairly certain he's going to go with Hairy Man Brewery. I'm serious.
That's great.
Yeah, so I suggested Hairy Man to him. He goes, "Oh, that's a sick idea."
That is a great idea.
So Sunday afternoon, I don't know how many people will be allowed in.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably won't be able to cut his hair in the brewery, but it might be at the front of the brewery. We'll get a couple of pop ales into us and some gingy beers.
Maybe they'll do a Corey brew.
The Corey. Well, they've got Corey's Claim, the dark beer,
but they could sprinkle a bit of his hair into it. Needs more dog.
Needs more Corey. Yeah. If with the new Corey's Claim, you can just whack some actual Corey in it. Then it'll be really Corey.
Just as like a little garnish on the side of your can. Just drop it in there. Every sip, a bit of Corey. But no, they abide by very strict hygiene rules. So yeah, of course that's not going to be happening. But we were able to go to Hairy Man on Saturday and have our little AGM. This is the Budgy Boy. Now we mix things up. So this is our AGM, and then we have a biannual meeting as well. So what one was this? I say this every year.
And I need to call you out on it, Timmy, because not only did you get our 50th episode wrong, but we have one other really important Budgy Boys meeting a year. We've got the 50th ep of the podcast. I mean, that happens once, but you got that wrong. And then we have the AGM. And you are the sole holder of the King Juan minutes.
Yeah.
And you didn't bring them.
Yeah, I stuffed up. Oh, here we go. I deliberately didn't bring them because I knew we would go out after, and I'm not carrying them around all night. It's a big document. And also, I don't remember taking minutes at the midway one. I always remember at Christmas I used to bring my computer and would do it properly. Things have changed.
I don't think so. Normally when you have the AGM, it's at the end of the financial year or the start of the financial year, which it was, and you bring the minutes to me.
Yeah.
And it's just, we've got things to go through. You know, our local Chinese restaurant burnt down, and
we're having a shocker of a year.
We are. By the way, can we bring up Chinese restaurants?
Oh, I thought you were going to bring up something else.
Like body surfing?
The American presidential election.
No. Chinese restaurants.
Sure.
They're declining at a rapid rate.
Yeah, well, this one burnt down, so that's gone. But we've got a local one here. It's doing well, and I think they were able to get through the lockdown okay with takeaways, and they're back at business now. And it's not that good. Like, they're not that good up here. And they get a crowd.
Yeah.
So they're doing okay, but like some of the better restaurants are still pumping. What took over in the 90s was Thai food. Thai kind of replaced the Chinese food.
That's what I was saying. I go, Thai had this big spike, and everyone
Huge
goes,
boom,
if we're getting Asian, we're getting Thai food. We're done with Chinese. We don't need any more. And that was really upsetting to me because I love a honey chicken. And then I discovered Billy Key chicken.
Yeah.
And that changed the game. Now, thankfully, Chinese restaurants made a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah.
It was a bit of that nostalgia. Oh, let's go out for Chinese.
Yeah.
And then they kind of caught up to the Thai restaurants.
Yeah.
Now, within the last year, well, the last 2 years probably, we lost the King Wan, replaced with the Sha Key. Now Sha Key defunct because the Leagues Club's gone. Then our favourite Shangri-La burns to the ground in a very suspicious insurance job claim. I mean, who's got the kitchen open at 2:00 in the afternoon on a Monday when every Chinese restaurant's closed?
Actually, I think that's when most of the chefs go in to have their dinner. They all meet up early in the afternoon, have dinner before their shift starts. I think that's actually a thing, and maybe that's what happened. They were cooking their own dinner and then went up in flames.
Could have been, but I'm just really concerned that with the coronavirus and everything else, we're going to start losing these Chinese restaurants again. And where am I going to get my Billy Key?
Well, Billy Key's hard to find on the best of day. I also think that fusion Asian food or Asian restaurants have become very popular. So you can get some Chinese food, but it's generally served with some other Asian cuisines. What's real popular are like dumplings, yum chas.
Everyone loves dumplings, but at the end of the day, for me, it's just soggy.
It's a sausage roll. Really, it's just a bit of pork and some pastry. Instead of it, being fluffy and nice and crispy, it's soggy. I don't mind a dumpling though. But yeah, you're right, and I don't think Corona has affected too many restaurants.
Okay.
So we're looking good there. Hospitality has been affected a bit, but that's, I think, mainly places that relied on the walk-in.
Yeah.
Bars, clubs, that sort of thing. So Chinese restaurants should be fine. We just need some good ones. Now, Kirawee Chinese does a very good satay chicken.
Oh, Kirawee Chinese is good. And you walk in on the left, they've got all the freeze-dried meals in the cupboards.
Because I can't choose without the pictures.
Well, that's right. Yeah. So it's there right in front of you. That's exactly what you want. Now, getting back to the AGM, Timmy,
Yes.
We had 2 new members there
That's
inducted
right.
into the Hall of the Budgy
Yeah,
Boys.
they got their what do you call
wings. They got their wings.
it? I was going to say they got their bag of green.
Oh, yes.
They got their
Budgy.
shirt.
They're Budgy green.
That's good.
So, yeah, we had 2 more members join the Budgy Boy Elite, and being Aaron and Jared.
Jared, yep.
Aaron and Jared. And that's the first time I'd actually met them. So I haven't been going to many meets lately. And, yeah, I met them at the AGM. And it was great. We had a great time. And we body surfed in the morning, and it wasn't very big. Timmy, you should have come out. It would have been really good for you. Honestly, Saturday was so cold.
Yeah.
It was the coldest I've ever surfed.
Well, I want to show you this actually. I went out and the misso bought me a new wetsuit.
Whoa!
Check out this bad boy.
Whoa, look at this.
So I've gone with the Ocean and Earth steamer.
Oh, and how good's that? The little retro.
The fluoro
Retro zippy.
So you'll be able to spot me.
Yeah.
But I like it because it's nice and black and it's got the blue, so it will match the budgies.
Great.
Oh,
Timmy, congratulations.
It will match my headgear and goggles as well.
Yeah.
So I'm really annoyed because I would have loved to have come
look at
out,
that.
but now my back's gone. I can't really test it out for a while. Another thing is traveling with a wetsuit can be very difficult. So I'm thinking just chuck the budgies in for slide, and just if it's cold, we just deal with it.
You deal with it. Yeah, I think that's the idea. I mean, we went to Melbourne and we surfed the wave pool with the budgies.
And we weren't in. I guess when you're not in the water long, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very keen to get into the water, I guess, for the tail end of winter.
Well, Wolfo was saying the wave pool at the moment is 6 degrees in the water.
We were very lucky to go when we went. Because, we wouldn't have got away with that.
No.
I wonder, because a lot of people did have the wetsuits on.
Yeah.
I wonder how they travelled, because everyone went home that day.
Yeah.
And they were going to Queensland and Sydney. So, yeah, that's interesting. Nothing worse than having a wet bag on the plane. I remember once a football player got done for having dirt in his boots. And you can't apparently have big bits of dirt in your boots if you bring back, pesticides.
Yeah, that's right. I went on a flight once, get this, with a jar, and it had guppies in it. The little fish.
You're kidding.
No word of a lie. I've caught the guppies. I've whacked them in my backpack. I put it on the little conveyor belt. Didn't get picked up.
Jeez.
And I flew back over a state line with fish from another state. And it's really bad because if they get into the water systems, it can really stuff up the whole ecosystem.
I don't think state stuff's too bad. The biggest issue, I guess, is with cane toads and things like that. But like, imagine taking that overseas. Now, you probably wouldn't get through customs
No,
with
you probably
fish.
wouldn't.
And you often see on those shows people coming in from generally Asian countries with some very unusual food products, and they like even things like dairy products and stuff. But sometimes fish and things like things you can't get here. They're trying to bring in. So yeah, it is interesting. International flying is next level. Domestic is like getting on a bus.
Yeah.
There's really not much security. It's still a plane.
That's right.
Like we should be checking.
Yeah.
But I'll leave that up to the experts.
Now, Timmy, I went for a body surf this morning.
This morning.
Yeah, this morning. It's great because when school holidays are on, you'll be surprised at the amount of less traffic in the area.
Yeah.
Now, I could get from my place to Maroubra in about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Where normally, at that time, it's taking over an hour sometimes because all that has to happen is something happens in the airport tunnel. It's done for. Now, I was over there by 8 a.m. Rob's is there. Dave Malloy's there.
Oh, nice.
Met a guy named Pete in the water. And the Maroubra body surfers, mate.
They're taking off.
We had 6 or 7 blokes in the water. And it was going off. And they've got a couple of female members as well. Weren't there today. But it was really interesting just seeing this kind of group of body surfers. And there were no surfers where we were.
That's cool.
So I kind of think that we had enough mass there where the surfers are like kind of, oh, well, we won't go there because we'll get in the way.
I've seen that happen before a few times, and it's really, really cool. The day before Wompoff last year, a similar thing happened. There was a few South Coasters around, a few Maroubra guys around, a few Budgy boys, and we had a spot that no one came near. But also Maroubra, I guess Cronulla's similar, but for some reason Cronulla, the surfers always congregate to the one spot. Maroubra, there's a bit of space there, and you can find a little bank and have it all to yourself.
Yeah, that's right. I find Maroubra to be much better for body surfing. And it does. Like the peaks of the wave kind of disperse throughout the length of the beach, where Cronulla you find you might have 1 or 2 good banks and the rest is kind of, it's either too dumpy or it's not really hitting the bank in the right way. But today, it was very straight and very hollow, which was great. We had a really fun time, and there's some photos coming from Dave. And Sean, I think, had a go of, not Sean Cook, so Sean from the Maroubra Body Surfers had a go of Dave's camera. So they were kind of interchanging. It was fun. Dave was in the water, and then Dave would go get out, shoot on the camera. Sean would hop in, and then he'd hop out, go shoot in the camera, and Dave would jump back in.
Cool.
Now, Dave wasn't. He couldn't spend all the time in the water because he's got the gout.
No.
He does. He's got the gout. One too many orange juices.
What is it actually from? From alcohol?
Probably
or,
alcohol, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a bigger boy.
And he's a bit older. That's
He's a bit
when
older.
it starts to happen.
That's right. I mean, our mate's got it when he was 32.
Yeah.
And so that's not funny when you get it when you're 32.
Well, it's been one of our fears, and you've got a few months, and no, you've got a month away until you're 30, isn't it?
Don't remind me. Tim.
So you've avoided gout.
Well, that's true.
You've got to your 30s without gout.
That's the little wins.
Yeah, it's a great win. I was happy when I got it. I celebrated with 40 schooners.
Naturally. Yeah. But we had a great surf this morning, and we only lost one GoPro.
I thought you were going to say we only lost one body surfer.
No, we lost one GoPro, and it wasn't mine, thankfully. But here's the thing. If you're going out in the water and you don't have a float on your GoPro
Yeah, it's gone.
or a strap,
Yeah, it's gone.
yeah. You know who does? I don't think has a float. I think he's got a strap. Barrel Pig
Doesn't have a float,
doesn't have a float.
but he hangs on very tight to it with the strap.
I mean, well, he always makes barrels, so he's never getting worked.
He doesn't even get his hair wet.
That's right, he doesn't. Maybe Jake should do the shave with Corey.
Maybe Corey can call him out. I think only Corey can do that.
Yeah.
because a few people called Corey out, and he kind of waited a while, but he goes, all right, the time's right, and I'll do it. And I'm good on him, because I'll tell a story. We had a teacher at my school who was diagnosed with cancer, and we did the big shave, like the whole school did it. There was a few blokes in my year that didn't do it because they said, the formal's coming up. I want to have good looking hair for the formal. Really? Have you ever looked at a photo from your formal?
From a formal. Yeah.
Have you ever looked at a photo ever?
Was this a year 6 or the year 12?
This was it must have been year 10 or 12.
Yeah.
Probably year 10. And I was just like, what? Also, you're a bloke. Everyone looks good with a shaved head.
I wore one of those suits that are printed on the T-shirt.
Oh,
for
yeah.
my formal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the party boy shirts.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I think for females, you've got to have a certain shaped head to pull off a shaved look. It can look very good.
Yeah.
But not everyone can pull it off. But most blokes can pull off a shaved head. And most dads do it just because it's easy.
Yeah, that's right.
But I just couldn't believe how vain these boys were. Didn't want to shave their head for a bloke who's got the old cancer.
You know who had a little trim? Robbie Miller. And he's looking very dapper.
He's very well groomed. Yeah, he likes keeping the beard in check. And I think he was turning into a hat guy for a while.
Yeah,
and now
he
he's found a barber, or he's been rubbing something in. I don't know what they do. Is it Rogaine?
No, well, he said the Rogaine's very expensive.
Okay.
And so he goes, when it's time to go, let me know, and he'll do it. He'll go. He'll just go bald.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that.
But I think he should just get heaps Recedo. Why go to any more effort than you need to? He's got a wife.
Yeah,
he's got a couple of kids.
Yeah.
Just let it get heaps filthy.
Yeah. That's why you should get married before you start losing your hair.
Yeah.
Because then they're kind of locked into it.
Well, that's right. I'm a hat guy at the moment, Tim, but I'm a hat guy because if I take my hat off, my headphone's going to come off.
Oh, yeah.
This is a home job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's just out of control.
Yeah.
So I've gone the old hat. What do you think I should do with the next haircut, Timmy?
Maybe shave.
Because I'm trying to go the Sandy Cohen at the moment, and it's just not working.
Maybe we shave. I don't know if all the Budgy Boys will do it, but I think most of them would. And some of them already kind of do shave their head. But maybe before a competition, it's maybe a team comp like Womp Off, we all shave it. We do the Michael Klims.
Devsember.
Yes.
So one year, we tried to come up with different ideas for charitable events. So, for instance, you've got the world's greatest shave, Dry July, October. We came up with Devsember.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take really any courage for someone to stay sober for a month.
Yeah.
Right?
Even shaving your head, it's a good look.
Yeah.
Like, we wanted to do something that would humiliate you.
Yeah, that's right. So everyone goes, why do you have that on your head?
Yeah.
And you go, well, it's because I'm raising money for this. Devsember. So December, obviously. Now, Dev. Why Dev? Devons in Australia is what we used to call the receding hairline, not from the front, but from the back. So if you get the kind of crown of your head back here, and that starts to go. And so all the rest of the hair is still there. Yeah. And then you've got the kind of Jewish skull cap.
Yeah. Do you think it's called a Devon because it looks like a small slice of Devon? Like, what is Devon? Like bologna? Ham? It's all the offcuts.
It's off. Yeah, it's mostly sawdust.
But it's like a nice little snack.
Yeah, and Devon sandwich with tomato sauce is
and cheese.
Delicious.
White bread, of course.
Yes, of course. So Devsember, we had Devsember. Now, we didn't do anything about Devsember.
No,
but I think we should go ahead with that, and if we want to do it through the podcast or Budgy Boys, maybe we do that. You know what did go ahead? And Sean's got the rights to it.
I don't like this one.
You don't like it?
No.
So this is for skin cancer, right? Now, you guys can't steal this idea because it's already been TM'd. Fake Tanuary. So we've got January, Tanuary, fake Tanuary. So for skin cancer awareness, everyone goes and gets a heaps filthy fake tan. And so people go, like for instance, Timmy, if you were to go fake tan,
I'd look awful.
Yeah, we'd look awful. And you go, well, why have you done this? Well, I'm raising money for skin cancer awareness. I think it's got legs.
People might just think I'm getting ready to move to Los Angeles.
Yeah, but people are going to ask you why you're
whiten
doing
my teeth and get a nice bland, nice tan. But I don't know. Sean's been keen on this for a long time. I've never seen it getting anywhere.
I think it could.
I just think some people rock the fake tan.
They do. I'm not a fan of fake tan.
A lot
at all.
less fake tan these days. Maybe they've worked out a way to make it look more natural and not as orange.
Maybe.
People are adding a bit of moisturizer and
You
things
can
like that.
smell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smell hasn't changed. Now, I really dislike the smell of fake tan. And I won't shame anyone who wears fake tan. I won't, but I'm just saying go with your natural skin color.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's what you were born with. Don't try and cover anything up. Yes, if you need to fake tan every now and then. If you're going out to a formal event, you want to be kind of a bit darker, you can't get a tan. Sure, do it. But it's the people who do it day in, day out, and you got the things and everything's going on. We had a bloke at school who changed schools because he fake tanned one time. I mean, mate, just go with your skin colour.
But I guess Sean's trying to promote it as a way of not hanging out in the sun too long.
Yeah.
And getting tans that way, because that's very dangerous. So fake tans, I guess, are a safer alternative if that's what you're into. But as you say, just go all natural, mate. Don't worry about it. I live in the water in summer, and I have to get out multiple times because I just start to melt.
Yeah, because you don't wear any sun cream.
I do. No, that's what I'm saying. I have to get out of the water because I can feel it just coming off me and I need to relather. So
I had a really bad summer in regards to sunburn.
Yeah.
Because I've been pretty conscious about it in previous seasons, and this year I just felt like I got burnt again and again and again.
And as a body surfer, your back's just always up to the sun. It's just getting smashed.
We're in the budgies.
Hard.
I know. Yeah. See, this is the thing. I started going. So in Fiji, every time I hopped in the water to snorkel, I wore a t-shirt.
Yeah. The rashies are great, but when you're body surfing, there's something freeing and liberating about being just in your budgies. Feeling like the water just on your chest feels amazing. When you wear a rashi, especially if it's a little bit loose, you get a bit of drag. And, maybe you just got to buy a tighter rashi. But that is the rashi, even the long sleeve one, is the best way. You need one with a bit of a skivvy to protect the back of your neck. But, yeah, body surfing and snorkeling probably the worst things for exposure. Yeah,
well, here's the thing, Timmy. We need to be very serious about this because I think we'll probably have people listening to this podcast or people that we've met through body surfing that as the years go by, we may lose some of them to skin cancer. And even my grandmother has just had a skin cancer cut out of her leg, skin graft. Hopefully they've got it in time. But I mean, she used to play golf and she was in the sun. But for us, our entire hobby is jumping in the water with the least amount of clothes possible.
Yeah.
We need to be really, really conscious of it.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, just be wearing your sun cream in the middle of summer. I mean, even in winter, really.
Yeah, UV rays get through the clouds and that sort of thing. So, yeah, just definitely be careful. I wanted to bring up one last thing before we pack it up for the day. Actually, maybe two things.
Did you write notes, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh.
So we mentioned this a while back. I want to get more of the logistics down for how we're going to run the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, okay, the Bait Bay Budgy Boys Melbourne Cup. And I think it should be open to other crews as well. I mean, maybe you guys don't meet up at a specific gate. But here in Cronulla, we have a system where all the beach access points are numbered. So Gate 8 is the Bait Bay Body Bashers meetup point, and Gate 22 is the Budgy Boys. Now, we're going to try and run something on Melbourne Cup Day. Now, I'm sorry if you don't like horse racing. You can tune out at this point. But we will be watching the Melbourne Cup, and I came up with this idea a couple of weeks ago where the horse that's running out of Gate 22, so there'll be 24 gates in total in the Melbourne Cup. There's always 24 runners. So the horse coming out of gate 22 and the horse coming out of gate 8, whatever they happen to be, we have a little a race between those two horses. Now, I mean, they don't have to win, but they're kind of just racing against each other.
Yeah. So we'll try and produce some call of that race and bring it to you on the podcast. And I love this idea because, like, when we compete against Bait Bay, there's a bit of rivalry, there's a bit of banter. We have no control of this. It's complete luck. So it's not like the Fin Sprint where it's like, I'm going to smash you. Oh, no, I'm going to smash you. It's like, this horse just has to have a good day. And that's what gambling is, I guess. But that's why it's so exciting to me. I can't wait to do it. And I've actually made a little cup so the winner can be presented with the cup and they can drink out of it.
Oh, that'd be great.
And yeah, we'll try and do the call. But I'm very excited about that. When is Melbourne Cup?
It's always the first Tuesday in November.
Oh, cool. Last thing, Kayne West running for president. What are your thoughts? I feel like we should have little graphics like, what's that show, like the ESPN Zone, where they like go through all the topics? If we had tonight's topics, it would be what? What did we talk about?
We could have a little, like, you wanted to do the little news bar that runs along CNN and NNN style.
But this is big news. Kayne has tweeted. How sad's that? A tweet is news. Now, a few technical things about this. The Republicans and the Democrats have both got their nominees in. Kayne has to either run as an independent or somehow sneak in. I don't know if someone gives up their spot. I don't know how it works. So there's not really much chance of him running in this election.
No.
So 2024 is probably the next time he can have a crack. Would he run as a Republican?
I don't know what they're going to do, Tim. To be fair, I think we're very ill qualified to be commenting on body surfing.
This is what the people
and now you're trying to get us to comment on the political structure of a country we weren't born in.
But like, you know, they're a pretty big deal, I hear.
But are they anymore?
Yeah. Well, yeah. They've got their issues.
I mean, we've just invested $380 billion into our own defense systems because we can't rely on America to protect us if we were to go into war. So really, does it matter anymore what that country does to an Australian?
But as someone who's fascinated with pop culture, I guess it's interesting, especially if Kim Kardashian was to become the first lady of America. That's interesting. But yeah, if Kayne was to run for president and you were an American, would you vote for him?
No. See, I'd probably vote for Bernie Sanders.
But he's gone.
Why? Like, how can you have the option of putting up Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders against Donald Trump and pick Hillary Clinton?
Yeah.
The world's gone mad, Tim.
I love how you didn't want to get political, but as soon as Hillary came up, you're like...
Oh, mate, we all know she's the Antichrist. Well, it's fair. If you look into the atrocities that she has caused through her, what's it called? You couldn't call it a charity, but anyway, that's what she calls it, the charity. It's atrocious, Tim.
Don't want to get too theological, but apparently... there's a theory, I don't know who believes in this. I think it's Westboro Baptist Church. They believe that there's a Trinity Antichrist.
Oh, right.
So it's like the Pope, Barack Obama, and someone else.
I haven't heard Westboro Baptist be mentioned in a while. Are they back on the scene, I
think they're running the world.
Really?
Well, they're probably advising Trump.
Yeah. You're right there. Now, Westboro Baptist Church is not affiliated with the Baptist churches of New South Wales, the ACT, Australia, or even America. No. They're an independent church. And if you do some research, they're very, very evil.
Well, just watch some Louis Theroux documentaries, and I think he's done like 3 documentaries on them.
Yes, that's the God Hates movement.
Yeah.
And they go and picket at... like returned servicemen and like homosexual communities and things like that. Evil people.
What I hate is like they get to say some really offensive things, and they also don't pay tax. It's like I kind of want that.
Yeah,
deal.
see, I don't get that, and for us, I think the tax in general is very frustrating in regards to churches. But for me, as a church goer and having been paid by a church at points in my life, I understand it. And there's plenty of churches that do a lot of good. But there are plenty of churches that do a lot of bad. Now, in regards to taxation.
Oh.
What have you got?
Oh, I was, you know how I always get done?
For tax?
Yeah.
Oh, you had a win.
I might be getting some cashola.
Oh, return.
Yeah, I did a quick draft tax return and it's looking good.
Yeah.
Finally. Like I've been getting done for the last 5 years.
You owed money.
I owed like 20 grand.
Oh, gee. I don't know how my tax is looking, but I got paid back like $7,000 last year. So I think there's got to be an anomaly there somewhere.
Lump sums kill you.
That's right. Saying that, as I was saying about churches, so a person being paid by a church is still taxed in the same way of anyone else's employment. So that's one big thing that people need to understand. So pastors and accountants, anyone paid by the church is still taxed in the same way. They do have tax-free thresholds.
As other occupations
That's
have as
right.
well, yeah.
But the main thing that is not taxed into a church's budget is the offering, so the tithes. And for me, that makes sense because it's someone's donation. It's going to a big organisation. The organisation is then responsible of divvying that out in how they see fit. So, for instance, my church does around 40% to NGOs and non-for-profits out of our offering. And I'm sure a lot of churches around the world do that. But it's where you get the Westboro Baptist churches where they're getting an offering, they pay no tax on that, and then they go to fund hate.
Yeah.
Evil. Terrible.
Yeah. If you tithe, can you claim your tithe on tax? The same way if I was to give Corey some money for his charity.
Interesting. I don't...
Because that's always a draw card with charities. They go, you can write this off.
Yeah. I think that there are specific times throughout the year where you can. So if you're giving to a specific drive for a tithe or a donation, it can be tax deductible.
Yeah.
And that's made mention when it's asked for. But I don't think the general week-to-week offering is tax deductible.
Nice.
Don't quote me, but I don't think it is.
Next week on the show, my accountant will be here to take all your questions.
Well, these are the things. Like if we were to run Budgy Boys or any other body surfing club, if they wanted to start going down the route of getting very formal, which may happen.
Some clubs are. They're proper, I don't know what they're called, organisational clubs or something like that, where they do run a book and they have these little tricks up their sleeves.
And we've been trying to look into that for years.
Yeah, and it's a great way because like you're doing a lot for the community and you shouldn't be getting charged for what you're doing. Like even if you just want to print some T-shirts, it costs you a lot. If you can run that through your organisation or business or whatever, you get a bit of cash back. So it's cool.
Well, here's the thing. You go, all right, I want to buy an $80,000 car. The new Toyotas, they look great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have one. Land Cruiser, mint. If you want to, and you have the means by doing it, you have the $80,000 saved there. For instance, my partner's parents own a horticulture business, so I go to them. I've got $80K. I want to buy a truck. We'll buy it through the business.
Yeah.
Use the instant asset write-off.
Yeah, business is good.
I get the $80K back in my pocket.
Yeah.
Effectively, I've got a free car.
You're better off running a business at a loss or breaking even just for those perks. So people who are thinking about starting a business.
Well, that's it. Timmy, didn't you? I don't want to give away your secrets here, but like this gear.
Well, no, I haven't. I'll see what I can do with that, but because I don't have an ABN.
Yeah, but you were looking into getting things like ABN and say, all right, well, we have a body surfing club with an ABN. Let's write off our flippers.
Yeah. Flippers, wetsuits, keels.
Yeah. It's something to think about, guys. It's just something to think about. That's all we're saying.
Yeah.
And if someone works it out, how to...
Also, if you've just got a bit of money and want an idea, we are the ideas men. So come and have a chat and we'll set something up. I hear the internet's pretty big these days, so maybe you want to invest in that. Or maybe you just want to
You know who got me onto, didn't get me onto it. Liam has gone off the cryptos. Our friend Liam, you might know him from the incident in regards to paying for the bacon and egg rolls with cryptocurrency. Ripple, I believe it was. He's on the Tesla train now.
Well, yeah, Elon Musk is doing all right. So definitely that's going to be making money. So
Yeah, well,
why not?
I think it's $1,000 a share at the moment.
The only problem is if he starts doing some outrageous love projects and starts sinking money into that, like going to space, that's going to cost you a lot of money. So, but I think he's got the backing of the US government to do things like that. So who knows how they're going to go in the future, but that's really, really cool. But Liam also predicted the last Australian election, so maybe we should get him on to see what's going on in America.
Well, I don't think he predicted it, but he knows some guy who did the predictions of it, and he was so confident.
Yeah.
Very confident. And at one stage, the Liberal Party was about 13 to 1.
I got it at $7. Yeah.
Yeah.
$7.50. Yeah, I put a few hundred on that. So always go for the underdog. You know, greyhounds, horses, presidents. Maybe we should back Kanye.
Well, he's 50 to 1 at the moment, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's not getting in there this year, so I think we've got to wait a little while. So, anywho, there might be some big breaking news. I don't know. If you know more about politics, let us know. But I think we should get out of here and do it all again real soon.
Timmy, we are going to get out of here and do it very soon because we've got some special guests this weekend.
Oh, yes, we're going to do some pre-records.
That's right.
Awesome.
A couple of pre-records, and we're going to let them know that it's always overhead when you're body surfing.
Absolutely. Bye.
See ya.